Thank you very much. And a very, very special, we love this place. We love Detroit. Thank you very much. And hello to Michigan. We win Michigan, we win the whole ball game. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. Thank you very much, everybody. So I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Not even close. And our country's not better off, that I can tell you. Early mail-in voting in Michigan is now underway. So here in Detroit, early in-person voting starts tomorrow. So get the hell out and vote. You got to get out and vote. With your help, 18 days from now, we are going to win the state of Michigan. We are going to defeat Kamala Harris. And we are going to, quite simply, make America great again. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know, Detroit has such great potential, but Kamala and the Democrats have been wreaking havoc on this place, this very, very, in many respects, it's a sacred place. So many things happened in Detroit, and it's been treated so badly, and they've been talking about comebacks for so long, but we're going to bring it back better than it ever was, better than it was many, many years ago. We're going to make Detroit great again. We're going to make it great again. You know, they have been talking about it for years and years and years. For generations, this city and state were the world capital of automotive production and one of the great manufacturing centers in all of history. No matter where you went, this was the greatest in all of history.
They're not going to us.
But year after year, globalist politicians like crooked Joe Biden.
1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. 1 2.
Lion Kamala Harris.
1 2. Check 1 2.
Sold you out and let other countries loot, pillage, and plunder our wealth, our jobs, and our dreams, and they did that here more than any other place in our country. 40% of Michigan auto jobs were annihilated after NAFTA, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization was a disaster for your beautiful place, your beautiful city, and frankly, your beautiful state. Detroit was decimated. It's right.
Steve,
Detroit was decimated as if by a foreign army. It was no difference. Our factories were left in ruins, and under Kamala Harris, this year alone, the United States has lost nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs. You know, they're doing a terrible job.
Yeah, I just lost a shot. Yeah, I just lost a shot too.
Did you see her interviewed the other night? Okay. She said, essentially, keep it the way Biden had it. Oh, that's great.
Steve, give me a thumbs up if he can hear you.
He got out because of the way he kept it. She'll keep it the same way.
Steve,
U.S. car sales are down 38%
I lost your camera feed for a second. Just making sure you can still hear me.
Since I left office.
Check 1
but
2
with
1
victory
2.
in November, we're going to take back what is ours, and it is ours. We're going to take it back. We're going to bring back our jobs, our dignity, and our dreams.
Check 1.
And standing before you tonight, I am proclaiming to the people of this state that by the end of my term, the entire world will be talking about the Michigan miracle and the stunning rebirth of Detroit. And this will be a real rebirth. Right? Under the Trump administration, all who have robbed you, raided you, ransacked you, and abused you will discover very quickly America will not be taken advantage of anymore. We were taken advantage of for years, for decades. We will reclaim our stolen wealth, and the days of Detroit's economic glory will return greater and stronger than ever before. Promise. And I know how to do it. Oh, do I know how to do it. I will put Detroit first, I will put Michigan first, and I will put America first, and that's the way it is. as we speak, China was building a gigantic auto plant in Mexico. You know about that, and really more than one. Don't worry about it. I took care of it for you. Took care of it. It's already done. Without even closing the big deal, which is the presidency, I've already got it done. Of course, if she got in, she has no idea what the hell she's doing. She's grossly incompetent, worse than him. Then I cannot tell you what's going to. I can tell you they'll build the plant. I can tell you, but it's already done. They think they're going to sell all of their cars into the United States and destroy Michigan, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I promise you. No, they're building giant plants, and now they just announced something which is going to save Detroit, because you would not be able to compete with this plant, the biggest in the world by far. A friend of mine builds them. He said, the biggest in the world. He wanted to show it to me. I said, no, thank you. I have other things to do. I want to see the plants built in the United States. That's the ones I want to look at. So I said to him, John, a year ago, I want to see a plant. And he said, sir, we'll have to go to Mexico. I said, I don't want to go to Mexico. I want to look at one here. He said, there's no big ones being built in the United States. I said, that's bad. I said, how big is it in Mexico? The biggest in the world. I said, so they're going to make cars and sell them in here. Kill Detroit, kill Michigan. You wouldn't have anything left. You wouldn't have anything left. So the other day I was speaking, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking at the Economic Club of Detroit, which was nice, made a nice speech. And what happened, I saw John, who's the biggest and the best auto builder. That's what he does. He builds plants. I don't know if he can build anything else. I'm not sure he can build an apartment, but plants he's very good at. And I hadn't spoken to him in a year. He was telling me about this massive plant, and I spoke, and I explained how I'm going to put massive tariffs, very big tariffs on anybody in Mexico that's selling cars are going to hurt our business here. And I said to him, how's that plant coming along, John? And he said, sir, they just told me it's over. They're not building it. They think Trump is going to win. He's going to impose tariffs, and it's worthless. You owe me big. You owe me. You owe me. So they stopped construction. They're not building it. And Detroit will survive, but now we got to make it more. Now we're going to build the plants. So I'm going to do, sometime next week, I'm going to call the people building the plant, very big, wealthy company, which is backed by China. It's China, you know, it's China. It's in Mexico, but it's China. And I'm going to say, build your plant in the United States. We want people to build plants in the United States, employ our people. That's what we want. And if you do that, it's a whole different story. And ideally, they'll build it right here in Detroit. We'll get Detroit moving. And others will come also. So vote Trump, and you will see a mass exodus of manufacturing jobs from Mexico to Michigan, from Shanghai to Sterling Heights, and from Beijing to right here in Detroit and other cities all across America. Because a strong auto industry will make all of Detroit richer, boosting suppliers, real estate, and your entire economy. And, you know, I've been reading, seriously, I've been reading about Detroit for so long, the comeback. This is the real comeback. This isn't artificial stuff. This is the real comeback. You better vote for me. So very simply, it's not overly complex. Some people don't understand it. If you watched Bloomberg the other day, you would have seen the CEO of Bloomberg interview me, and I think he understood it. And I think the Wall Street Journal now understands it. Because to me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary, it's not love, it's not respect,
All right, so it's pretty obvious here in the room that Donald Trump has lost his microphone. Of course, when these sorts of things happen, the Kamala Harris campaign will say, well, he wandered not knowing here. The failure is to bring him a wireless handheld mic. That didn't work. So he just waving to the crowd, waiting for this technical issue to be corrected. And we don't have any idea how long it's going to take. It's a technical problem or an issue with the wiring. They're working very hard to get him a microphone right now, working very hard to get him back hooked up. He's having some fun talking to the crowd, doing some pictures and so forth. But this has taken an awfully long time already for it not to work. Let's see if this works. They've handed it on, I believe. They've handed coming up to talk to him. They're trying to correct the problem as we speak here in Michigan. Again, no microphone. Maybe he can yell.
He probably could.
I could invite him back here to speak on the Real America's Voice microphones, that's for sure. First time we've seen such a problem happen. We know we had a couple of matters here recently that prevented him from continuing speaking. Clearly frustrating for the crowd, frustrating for the former president here on stage.
We are Real America's Voice. Damon Roberts here with Slick Rick Delgado. We're watching President Trump. Obviously, this gives new meaning to the word mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike has officially dropped completely in Michigan. Wow. And as Steve Gruber was saying, this is now, we've heard for days after the president had two people faint. Wherever he was, where was he when the people fainted? Just, I guess, last week, wherever that was. And he played music. Remember when he was with Kristi Noem?
Yep.
Yeah, in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Of course, the media and the left after that told us that he's falling apart. He was wandering around like he was Joe Biden.
Right.
So I'm sure tonight they're going to take this and they'll just say, well, the guy started wandering around the stage.
Yeah,
and they won't even mention what actually happened here.
Yeah, he just stopped talking.
So to say he turned his back to the camera and started looking at the people in the back holding up signs for an hour, for minutes on end. No one can figure out what was going on. This is what the media will report.
Right, wow. And they won't mention anything about Whitmer Electronics being the sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
There in Michigan,
Ava Perone Electronics put the speaker system in here. Yeah. I mean, that's not out of the. Is that out of the question here? That's absolutely not.
There you go.
Nope. Nothing
wow.
yet.
Nothing yet.
I mean, this, and honestly, I mean, Fran, you could speak to this as being an audio expert. I mean, even in a place like this shouldn't take that long, no matter what happened.
Yeah.
If the soundboard fried, you should have another soundboard ready to go. I mean, it really can't be. You wouldn't think that this could be something that could take this long. Now, if the speakers went, they don't have other speakers, or they have bad wires, or like Delgado said, Ava Perone Electronics is the one who
they got Ava Perone
who put this in.
True. Trump wanders around
aimlessly on stage.
Oh yeah, that's
see the stage.
Oh,
Aimlessly,
this is what they're gonna.
She's gonna look. It's gonna look like that scene from. They're gonna dress her up like that scene in Airplane where he pulls the big plug out of the wall and everything goes dark. Like,
yeah. Do we have any backstage cameras to see who's messing around with electronics? That's what I'd like to know.
The amount of scrambling that's probably going on back there.
Oh, I can just imagine.
I can't even imagine the stress.
I can imagine what the scrambling is going on.
Harry's not there, right? Harry!
Harry's off the hook here. Harry is on Long Island. Harry is off the hook here.
Harry's at a happy hour somewhere on Long Island.
Harry's off the hook. Harry has nothing to do with I think Whitmer Electronics is probably more to blame.
Yeah. The union, baby. It's a union job.
Well, think about it. It is Michigan.
It's true.
I'm sure there's a few of them that maybe are like, you know what? I'm going to sabotage this a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
You never know. I'm not saying it happened, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Steve Gruber, if you're there and you can hear me, do you know if was Whitmer Electronics the company that was hired to do this tonight?
Yeah, after they did communion, that's what happened with Governor Whitmer. You got it.
That's exactly
True confessions
right.
Prayed with Dorito chips, and then you have this. But they're working feverishly. I can see guys running around. They've got cables in their hands. They're trying to borrow microphones. They're trying to get things sorted out. Donald Trump is doing the best he can. I mean, he's got nothing to do up there. He can't talk to anybody. But I heard you guys talk about it. Oh, Donald Trump wandering around aimlessly, no idea where he is. I mean, really, that's the kind of nonsense that they will try to push.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we heard we've heard since the Oaks, Pennsylvania, when it was people fainting and whatever the deal was. Stayed on stage for 45 minutes to an hour, played some music, and boy, they had him out to be Biden. So
yeah, here's the big sign: technical difficulties, complicated business here. Apparently, as we're watching this unfold.
There you go.
Yeah, it's got to be something bigger than just the bad mic and microphone cables. Because again, you mentioned, Damon, that they tried to hand him a wireless microphone and it wasn't working. So that means it's beyond the microphone. It's got to be something else.
I mean, whatever it is. I mean, it's just hard to imagine something. Yeah, he's shaking his head like. I mean, this really. I mean, someone should be getting fired over this because this
He's got to be irritated.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to be. It just can't happen. And if it does happen, it can't take this long to get fixed.
It, No, it can't. You can't have this. You've got a packed room full of excited people that want to hear what he has to say about saving the economy, about dealing with Kamala Harris, and that's what you're dealing with. Yeah, it should not take this long to fix a problem this simple, you would think. No backup, no plan B. I don't know. You tell me.
Steve, it sounded like he was going in. The messaging of the speech tonight was taking a pretty direct aim and pretty serious tone as far as making out how desperate things are for the car industry and for the industries there. And he was taking a pretty hard tone in what he's going to do to save. And, he sounded like he was... he had real direct messaging and things he wanted to get across to the people of Michigan here.
Absolutely. Look, this has been a theme of his since his first campaign back in 2016. Let's be honest. American manufacturing is not what it used to be. It's a theme of the Trump campaign. We've talked about tariffs. We've talked about rebuilding manufacturing. We've talked about the middle class taking it on the chin. Look, Michigan is a place that when the national economy has a cold, Michigan gets the flu. Everybody knows that. We tend to take it harder and longer when it comes to a recession than any other state. I live here. I know. And it's harder to pull out of it. So, yeah, he's taking a hard tone because he knows that these people in Michigan want a chance to pay the bills, to feed the family. Maybe to buy a new car once in a while or get a mortgage on a house. All those things have become far more difficult over the last 3.5 or 4 years. Yeah, he's fighting for the American family. That's his message here today. And it begins by fighting for American jobs. But you can't fight for American jobs when you've got no microphone.
We hear the crowd chanting there. Absolutely right. Aaron just said that they're thinking about giving him a bullhorn. I can't imagine. I just can't even imagine.
That'd be priceless.
That's crazy.
I mean, what's crazy is you see the speakers hanging there. I mean, not to get into an audio-visual discussion here, but I mean, I can't imagine that this is a house system. I mean, they had to have bring in to be serious, we're joking about Whitmer Electronics, but you would think they have to have brought in an AV company. I mean, having a little history in this, dealing with the amphitheater here on Long Island, we know what it's like when you bring in an audio system, video screens, audio speakers, microphones. I mean, for this to be taking this long is crazy.
Yeah, this has been absolutely absurd. I should have started a stopwatch on this and taken the over-under bet on a Friday night, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's Pizza Friday here on Live from Studio 6B, so it's kind of messed up our dinner as well here as we were watching the president.
Yeah.
So
Had my feet up, had my pizza in my hand.
Oh, you guys get dinner?
Well,
Really?
yeah, we have.
Wow.
Well, it's craft
That must be
services
nice.
sometimes. Most days it's shaft services, but tonight it's actually craft services.
Chef services, all right.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, President Trump.
I don't know how long this is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long this is, obviously this is a system failure, systemic failure that I've never seen anything like it. And I've been to more Trump rallies than I can imagine or even remember, right? I've been to them since 2016. I've been to scores of them. I've never seen this, never seen a failure like this. The crowd's still with him, but, I mean, at some point, at what point do you say, look, we got to do something different? I mean, at what point do you say, this isn't working, and apologize and say, let's try again? And unfortunately, he doesn't get to deliver his message here. But having said that, I think most voters are decided in America. I think most voters are decided in Michigan. I think if you look at the polling, there's something like 5 polls in a row, including a Michigan News Source poll that came out yesterday showing Donald Trump winning in Michigan. You look at Alyssa Slotkin, who's running for U.S. Senate as a Democrat, who basically came out here a couple of days ago with an ad saying, you can vote for me and somebody else if you need to. Basically saying you can split your ticket because she knows that Kamala Harris is not selling in Michigan. Same thing with Bob Casey in Pennsylvania saying, oh, look, I support Donald Trump.
I saw that.
Because they know that Pennsylvania's slipping away. I mean, right.
Tammy Baldwin, too, Steve. Tammy Baldwin's doing it in Wisconsin. She's running a commercial that says, I joined President Trump for this piece of legislation.
Yeah, and she's only up by 1 point. And I just saw Bernie Moreno winning in Ohio at a brand new poll today. I mean, you look at the Rust Belt states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. It's not just about the presidency. It's about control of the United States Senate because it looks like Tim Sheehy's going to win in Montana. Obviously, West Virginia already in the red column. So that puts you at 51. And everything else is just icing on the cake.
I mean, Steve, when you
I
look
can only imagine. Here's a guy who fired people on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say to your point on the whole blue wall strategy too for her. You look at Wisconsin, you look at Michigan, you look at Pennsylvania. I mean, that strategy seemingly is out the window because right now, dollars to donuts. If I had to put my dollars would be that she loses all 3 right now.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing the music up now, so maybe that's a good sign. Maybe the system's back. I don't know. I don't see him at the microphone yet, but I'm watching this unfold the same as you are. The blue wall strategy is failing right now when you see the Senate candidates in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania all saying, well, hey, I supported Donald Trump on this. Kamala Harris says, she's all for border security and no tax on tips. I mean, pretty soon she'll have put out the book, The Art of the Deal, right? Because that's what they're all getting on board with is Trump's ideas. And Kamala Harris, we'll see what she's going to do here. This is really baffling, though, guys, really baffling.
You know what's interesting, too, about this is that, Steve, you just said you thought you heard music, and we thought we heard it, too. But you would think as soon as the mics went out, it'd be like, all right, let's just put some music on and keep people entertained. They haven't been able to do that either. So that's what makes me think it's more than just a microphone issue.
Yeah, and I did not see any indication. I mean, we've seen people running back and forth with cables, with microphones. I mean, down here, we're, of course, here in the on the riser in the back with all the media crews. All the networks are here, of course, and you've got all these technical people running back and forth, trying to figure out what's happening. And to be honest with you, it doesn't look like anybody has a clue as to what's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
He's back. Oh, he's going to be ripping now.
He's going to go 2 hours.
They got it.
He is going to go long.
Hallelujah.
Do they have him? Looked like he went to talk. I still didn't hear him.
Wow.
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
That crowd was roaring.
Did he? Well, let's see. Is he going to attempt to speak?
Nothing.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you. So now what happens is I won't pay the bill for this stupid company that rented us this crap. I won't pay the bill, and then we'll have a story that Trump didn't pay the bill to a contractor. No, when they do that kind of a job, don't pay the bill. That's terrible. They also had a little problem with energy coming into the building, but I'm not blaming it on that. But here's my plan. Do we have fun? And can everybody hear perfectly now? I don't like the mic anyway. I didn't like it from the minute I started. And this is important because we're doing things here that are really going to be amazing. So let me know, and if it goes out again, I'll sue the ass off that company. We're going to sue them. Then they'll say, what a horrible guy Trump is. He's a terrible guy. Starting in January, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, the free access to the best and biggest market on the planet, that's us, but only if they make their products here in America and hire American workers for the job. And if these companies don't make their cars and products here, then they will pay a tariff, a very stiff tariff, when they send their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers and our cherished companies. We're going to protect our companies. We're not going to let them steal our companies like they have in the past. We're going to call this policy Build It in America Plan, because when foreign leaders and CEOs call me up to complain about our tariffs, my answer will be very simple. Build it in America. Very simple. And to be specific, build it in Detroit, and we'll give you good electricity. Or build it in Dearborn or Lansing or Grand Rapids or Flint. The centerpiece of this plan will be a 15% made in America corporate tax rate. So we brought the rate down, and you saw this, from close to 40% to 21%, and you've already had that. Nobody thought it could be done. We got it down to 21. Now we're going to get it down to 15%, but only if they build it in America. Does that make sense? And for those who don't make their product in America, they will be forced to pay tariffs, and we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars toward our budget. We'll pay down our debt. We'll reduce your taxes still further. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And we will take in so much money, and we will take in so many jobs, and we will be bringing, for the first time in years and years and decades, companies will be coming to us, and they'll be coming back to Detroit, and they'll love it. Some say my defense of American jobs makes me a protectionist. And yes, I will protect what is ours. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. And I will protect our borders. I will protect our families. And I will protect the birthright of our children to live in the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. These pro-worker policies are among the many reasons, and it's not protectionist, it's pro-worker. It's really not protectionist. We've had people ripping our country for years, decades, destroying. You look outside, you see all the hulks, you see the empty buildings. For years and years, they've been ripping us off. Now it's time for us to get it back. We're going to get it all back. These pro-worker policies are among the many reasons why I've been overwhelmingly endorsed by the rank-and-file membership of the Teamsters, including 62% of the Teamster members, and there are a lot of them here today. Stand up, please. Teamsters, we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kamala does not even pretend to have a plan to save Detroit because she knows her agenda will reduce your future to rubble. She's not going to. Her plan will drive every company, even small businesses, out of our country or out of business. It's a disaster. It is a disaster. Kamala's inflation has already cost the typical family over $30,000 in higher prices, and now she's proposing to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year. So watch these two videos. Let's see if they have some electricity going to them, please. And it would be nice if the television cameras could watch them also, because they don't do that.
President, there are many different tax policies which could cripple the economy, but the first thing she wants to do is allow these Trump tax cuts to expire.
Even the New York Times admits that 85% of the middle class got a tax cut.
Americans will face a hike. The Tax Foundation finding that a couple with 2 kids making $165,000 a year would have to pay over $2,400 more in taxes.
And on day one, I will repeal that tax bill.
Joe Biden and I are about to work to get rid of that tax cut. Joe and I are about to get rid of that tax bill. Joe Biden and I are about to get rid of that tax cut.
Everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic. We've got to increase the corporate tax rate. Part of that is going to be about repealing that tax bill that they just passed. And also looking at estate taxes are going to have to go up.
We will tax capital gains,
but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes.
Taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word.
When the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way the stock moves to say, we're going to tax what you don't have. That's a sore point, and it's a big deal. Is that something you think she firmly believes in?
I think it's part of the proposals of the campaign.
Under my plan, there will also be a carbon fee. There has to be some connection between the fee and bad behaviors, and there has to be, in that we have to monitor whether it's going to be passed on to consumers. But I'm going to tell you that should never be the reason not to actually put a fee, and in particular, carbon fee.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the worst mic I've ever had in my life. This is the worst. The tax queen is also demanding a shocking 33% tax hike on all domestic production, along with the largest capital gains tax hike in the history of our country. In other words, she's going to tax your companies and you out of business. The companies are going to leave, and you're going to end up with the same mess that you've had for the last 40 years. In total, her proposals are estimated to kill almost 1 million full-time jobs. Under Kamala, who knows absolutely nothing about what we're doing, it will be economic Armageddon for Detroit. You go back further, but very simply, we're going to make it great. We're going to make it so good. You're going to have jobs coming in like never before. Under Trump, we'll turn this city into the most powerful jobs magnet in the history of the world. Upon taking office, I will immediately begin to eliminate every job-killing regulation in the books. We eliminated more than any other president in 4 years. There's never been a president that eliminated more, times 5. As a senator, this one here, Kamala. You know, I'd like to call her Harris, but nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about. You ever see that? Like, you say Harris, who the hell is Harris? As a senator, Kamala voted to impose a 100% ban on gas-powered cars and trucks, which would kill an estimated 200,000 U.S. auto jobs. On day one of the Trump administration, I will terminate Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate, and we will end the Green New scam once and for all. We will quickly become energy independent, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. I will cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. So listen, I will cut your energy prices in half, 50%, 50, cut them in half, within 12 months of taking office. That's going to bring everything down. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small business, and we will also have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. I will make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, and they will be so. Listen to that. What will that do for the cars? Fully tax deductible interest on a car. You buy a car and you get a deduction. Wall Street called me up. They said, how the hell did you think of that idea? That's a good one. Because affording a car is essential to restoring the American dream, and you're going to have the American dream finally. You haven't had it in 50 years. Working with Elon Musk, is he good or what? I saw that rocket come down 3-4 days ago. That sucker was coming down. I said, oh my God, I never saw anything like it. I was on the phone with a friend. I'm talking about something. I don't know, something maybe having to do with Detroit. Could that be possible? But I'm talking on the phone, and I see the screen is on and no sound, and I'm saying, wait a minute, I have to put the phone down. I don't believe what I'm seeing. And I saw that big monster coming down, that big, it's like a 20-story building or something coming down. The engines are glowing, and they're firing and spitting. And I said, it's going to crash. It's going to crash into the gantry. Don't crash. And then you see another engine take it perfectly and lands right in the spot that it took off. I said, that must be Elon. He's the only, nobody else. It must be Elon. So I called up Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He goes, that was me. I said, who else can do it? Nobody. I said, can Russia do it? No. Can the U.S. do it? Meaning the U.S. outside of you? He said, no, nobody can do that. I said, you're the coolest. That's pretty. And he endorsed me a long time ago, actually, saying it's the most important election we've ever had. But working with Elon Musk, we will cut trillions of dollars in government waste. He's very good at that. He knows better than anybody. It won't affect anybody other than it'll look awfully good, and it'll help bring our country back. I want to thank also Elon for campaigning so hard in Pennsylvania. You know, he's actually feels this. Can you imagine? He just lands his biggest landing anyone's ever seen, and he leaves for Pennsylvania to campaign for me. Can you imagine that? And you know, he also, and we got to say this, I went to North Carolina, which was hit hard. Georgia, too, really hit hard. But in North Carolina, they had no communications. It was like they were an island unto themselves. And I said to the people, what can we do? He said, we have no communication. People are dying. It's a mess. They said the federal government, Washington, is doing a terrible job. Sir, do you know Elon Musk? I said, I happen to know him. He endorsed me. He said, what's the problem? I said, can you get Starlink I said, what the hell is Starlink? And they explained it to me. I'm a fast study. It didn't take too long. So I called up Elon and I was saying, Elon, we're in North Carolina. The people are really, it's devastation here. It's unbelievable. They have no communication to the mainland. It's like it cut it off. It's incredible. The water was we've never seen anything like that. I said, Elon, Starlink, it's very hard to get, by the way, because it's very successful, very hard to get. He said, can you get Starlink, a lot of those suckers, can you get them for North Carolina and parts of Georgia? And I was talking to him about it, and all of a sudden I get a call on the other line. It's the man from North Carolina. Thank you, sir, for getting the Starlink. I said, I haven't even finished my conversation. Now think of that. I said, Elon, I haven't even finished my conversation, and they're already saying you said, that's right, I do that. I do two things at one time. I can do that. So he's great. He saved a lot of lives, I think, and he really, and by the way, the Starlink worked perfectly. As soon as it got there, it was perfect. So thank you to Elon for that. He did a great job. And if we do all of this, our flag will fly proudly once more over the gleaming new factories, and the whole world will witness Michigan's resurgence. Wealth will flood into our country and into the hands of our great workers. And that is the future that awaits for Detroit under a certain gentleman named President Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? It's going to be real. It's going to be real. As we rebuild our economy, we'll also restore our borders. Did you ever see anything like what's coming in through our borders? Criminals, drug dealers, prisoners, people from mental institutions. For 4 straight years, Kamala has imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, and she's resettled them into your communities to prey upon innocent Americans. I happen to think it's the worst thing that's happened. I think it's worse than inflation. I think it's worse than a bad economy. I think it's the worst thing that happened to us. 21 million people. When I win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. I have no choice. One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country, or to say it a little differently, Kamala, but I don't give a damn if I pronounce it right. Who the hell can pronounce it? It's the savage Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua. Do you know them? Very nice. It's a very nice group of young gentlemen. Very fine people. They were gang members in Venezuela. We let them into our country. By the way, they're taking over parts of cities all over the place. But in Aurora, Colorado, and communities in all 50 states, this gang is terrorizing law-abiding citizens, including taking over multiple apartment complexes. You have to take a look at this. Take a look.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis. Record high crossings are putting a strain on cities across America.
It is a full-blown invasion.
Armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about migrant crime, this is what they're talking about. Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members had been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national.
And was paroled and released into the country by the Biden administration.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
Just so you know, we have the most dangerous criminals in the world in our country now. The most that we never had anything like this. These are the most dangerous criminals in the world. They make our criminals look like very nice people. That's about the only thing you can say. But they are the worst, among the worst people, and they come from all over the world. I thought it was 158 countries. Last week they reported is 181 countries. They're coming from all over the world. They're emptying their prisons into our country, mental institutions into our country, and they're taking their street gangs and their drug dealers and terrorists are now in our country. 21 million people came in under their rule, and she was in charge of the border. She's a grossly incompetent person, and we can't let this happen. We have to get the hell out and vote and get them out of here. The United States is now an occupied country. How about that? You ever think you'd be hearing that? We're an occupied country. We're being occupied. You know, if you have a 1 million person army, that's a big army. They've got millions and millions of people. If they just take a small percentage of them, they'd have 6 million man or woman army. Think of that. They've let these people into our country. They're emptying out the jails all over the world, the mental institutions all over the world. They're coming in. I think it's the biggest problem we have. I don't care. Deflation and inflation is all bad stuff. But this is, the polls say, the biggest problem is our economy, which stinks. The second biggest problem is inflation, which is devastating, worst we've ever had. And the third is our border. I think the border is the first biggest problem, if you want to know the truth. But November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And when I get rid of this microphone at the end of the speech, it's going to be Liberation Day for Donald J. Trump, because I'm blowing out my voice to get this sucker done. I'm blowing out my voice. But I'm going to get through this speech because you're from Detroit. We're going to turn this place around. We're going to make sure that electric current comes into it like it should. Liberation of Donald Trump. Good night, folks. That's terrible. But I think it's okay. I mean, you can hear. If I scream like hell into the mic, I think, good for you, not so good for me. But that's okay. That's what my life has been about for the last 10 years, and that's good because we love you. We're going to turn it all around for you. Under Kamala Harris, 13,099 illegal aliens, convicted murderers are on the loose in the United States. Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. Have no choice. We have no choice. I will rescue every town across America that's been invaded and conquered, and I will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country, which is my number one choice. to expedite removals of the Tren de Aragua gangs and other savage gangs like MS-13, which is just as bad. We have by the thousands now. I took them out by the thousands, and they now are coming back in by the thousands. These people, what they've done to our country, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. That's where we had to go, to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. We will call it Operation Aurora. We want to pay tribute to Aurora, Colorado. The governor there is a radical left Democrat. He is petrified. The guy doesn't want to walk out of his mansion. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. So we keep them out. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. Kamala's migrant invasion is also devastating our great African-American community, stealing American jobs, crushing wages, undercutting the voting power of our own citizens, and bringing drugs, crime, and death to our country. You know, we're devastating the African-American population. They're taking their jobs. It's terrible. It's terrible. And also Hispanic. They're taking a lot of Hispanic jobs. And the jobs created by Biden are all being taken by people coming into the country illegally. So, you know, it's terrible. Yet Kamala says there is nothing she would do differently. Listen to this. She'll do nothing differently.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022. Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
U.S. inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
The cost of homes have spiked. Home buyers need to earn 80% more than they did in 2020 to afford a house.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
You know, she destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California along with Gavin Newsom. Destroyed it. Did you say when Newsom said that you're not allowed to even ask for voter ID? If anybody asks somebody for voter ID, it's considered a crime. You know why? Because they want to cheat. There's only one reason why. We want to be very careful. Detroit, if you want to end this disaster, you must get out and vote. You have to get out and vote right now. And with that, I'd like to acknowledge some of our great friends. And he just spoke, so I don't want to have to waste his time, but he did just speak, and he's great. He's one of our really true leaders in this country. We're all lucky to have him running for the Senate. Mike Rogers. Where's Mike? Mike, thank you, man. And I don't want him to get up and use this crappy microphone that they sent. I don't want him to do that. I want to keep him good and healthy. Unlike Trump, I want him to have his voice tomorrow. When I get up tomorrow and I can't speak, I'm going to say Detroit did it to me, but that's... We're also pleased to be joined by a future star and really a current star. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. Congressman, do you know who he is? Byron Donalds. Congressman Donalds, thank you. Thank you, Byron. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Thank you very much, Byron. Michigan House Republican leader Matt Hall. Matt, thank you, Matt. How are we doing here, Matt? We doing good? Gonna win, I hope. We gotta win. So far, we're winning. And Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. A man, thank you very much, Eric. A man that I said, you got to do this, you got to do it. He wasn't sure if he wanted to, you know, he had a great career. I said, I'm sorry, Pete Hoekstra, you got to do it. You got to become the GOP chairman. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. Thank you, Pete. Great job. So, Pete, are we going to win? How are we doing? Thus far, I hear like way above projection. We're not even talking about polls anymore. These are way above projection. A man who is probably more knowledgeable about auto workers for Trump and auto workers, period, and who knows exactly what we're doing. He's a member of the union, but he's not happy with what they're doing, with the whole thing, what they're doing. You know, they've lost a lot of jobs over the last few months, and it's going to continue until you have no jobs in this country. We're not going to let it happen. We are going to have more jobs, and it's going to be more powerful as an automobile capital than it was in its heyday 60 years, 70 years ago. It's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Brian, stand up. Pannebecker, Brian Pannebecker. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. And Dr. Masad Boulos, great friend of mine, and Michael Boulos, my son-in-law. He's a wonderful young man. Stand up, please. That's good. That's good. He got lucky. He married Tiffany. And they're having a baby, a beautiful little baby. We also have a man highly respected in Michigan, Imam Husseini. Imam, please, wherever you may be, stand up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you very much. Great honor to have you. And we have a guy, I made so much money with this guy. He was brutal. He was a brutal man. Happened to come from a place called Detroit, or as they say, Detroit. He says, I come from Detroit, which is cool as hell if you're the hitman, Tommy Hearns. The hitman. Tommy, come up here, Tommy. Come up, come. Come up here. Tommy the hitman. We love Tommy. I won so much money betting on this guy. He was brutal. We love that. Look at him. He still looks good. He still looks good. Wow. They have to take down. You know, Secret Service has got a little, I don't know, is there such a thing as over? But Tommy's going to have to cross about 9 gates. I don't think so, Tommy. About 25 years ago, he would have just hopped over him. Hey, Tommy, you're so good, huh? You think I could take you now in a fight right now? No, I don't think so. I don't think, look at him, he wants to, oh no, he wants to fight. Oh. Tommy the Hitman. Man, oh man. Some of the greatest fights in history. Oh, look, he wants to come up. We should have him up, right? Come on, Tommy. Man, oh man. I saw him in the audience. I said, we got to get. I see a lot of people in the audience. I'm not bringing them up. Come on, Tommy. One of the greatest fighters of all time, and man, I'll tell you what, he was something special. And thank you, Tommy. And he looks great, doesn't he? He looks great.
Now, hear those nice words come from you, man? It's got to be real. It's got to be real. Because I myself, I never thought I was a great fighter, but I thought I did a pretty good job. But hearing it come from you, though, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Ah, that's great.
I want to fight now.
Man, he did. He fight. He was a natural. He had the greatest. He had hips a little bit smaller than mine. He had shoulders a little bit larger than mine. See, he went in the right proportion. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Thank you, Tommy. They love him in Detroit, right? They love him in Detroit. Another man that they love in Detroit is a rapper, and he's one of the hottest in the world, actually. Trick Trick. Where's Trick Trick? Trick Trick. Come here, Trick Trick. Come here. Maybe we should have him do a little rapping or something, huh? Come here. Look at him. He looks good. He looks good. You look good. Do a little rap if you want. Have a little fun. We'll have fun.
What up, though, Detroit? If y'all know about Trick Trick, y'all know I'm about bringing it all to Detroit. So please welcome the 47th President of the United States as we make Detroit great again.
Thank you very much. That's great. You have some great people here, I tell you. This is a great place. We're going to really we're going to make it great again, like the country, and we did it. And then we have to do it again because they blew it. They blew it to hell. But we're going to do it again. Thank you, Trick Trick. Here are some of the facts on Kamala Harris. You know, after talking to the hitman and Trick Trick, it seems sort of boring getting back into Kamala, but that's what we got to do. We got to save our country, right? Mr. Wall, stand up, please. This guy is great. You know, he's a wealthy guy. He made a lot of money. He comes to, how many would you say you're at? 350 or something? He's got a lot. This guy's got lots of cash. And I love his, someday I'm going to wear one of them to a rally. I think it would be well received because we built 571 miles of wall. We had it made. We were going to build another 200 miles of wall. And then they decided to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar. But we're going to get it done. We built much more than I said I was going to build. And we had the safest border in the history of our country. By the way, my all-time favorite graph. Can we put it up? That's my all-time favorite. Illegal immigration saved my life, if you think about it. But that arrow in the bottom, that's when I left office. That was the lowest point of illegal immigration. That included drugs and so many other things. It was just everything. But it was also, you know, they dealt with so many different elements of different forms of crime. The people that were coming in And look what happened after that. Look at that. So that was me. That was me, and the last day, and then you look, it was like a rocket ship. It was like Elon Musk sent a rocket ship up, and that was loaded up with criminals of the worst kind, and that's what we have now in our country. And it's worse than that, because that one, I want to keep it just the way it was. I'm not going to change it at all. But the numbers on the right, they continue for a long time. It's just an amazing thing. But we love that piece of paper. We love that chart more than any. I sleep with it. I kiss it every night. I do have that throbbing feeling in my right ear. It's a little throbbing feel, but that's okay. That's great. Thank you very much. So that was the best in history. That was the best in recorded history anyway. That was the lowest. It was the day I left office. They had human trafficking at a level, the lowest level. Now it's about 12 times higher. And they traffic in women. They traffic, not, I mean, in children, but they traffic in women more than any other thing. It's a horrible, you wouldn't even believe it could be possible. So thank you very much. I just wanted to see if you had that. I looked to the right, and a lot of things happened. And you know, we went to Butler a few weeks ago, and we had a celebration. 101,000 people showed up. 101,000, Butler, Pennsylvania, 101,000 people showed up. And it was a beautiful tribute to Corey, the great firefighter. He was a great guy, a big Trump fan. And two other wonderful gentlemen were really hurt badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and the doctors did an unbelievable job, and they're getting better and better and better. But that's a rough thing. That was some evening, I will tell you. But what was really some, and we had an opera singer that was so incredible, right? We had an opera singer that was incredible. We had the bells of Notre Dame. Now, they were recorded. We tried bringing them over, but they wouldn't let us do that. But we had a moment of silence, then the bells rang, and then the opera singer sang, and we had Ave Maria by Pavarotti. We had a whole night. It was an unbelievable tribute. It was a tribute to him. 101,000 people. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than Bernie Sanders and even worse than Pocahontas. Does anyone know Pocahontas? The great Pocahontas, they said, you should never use that term. Please apologize. I said, I'd like to apologize to the real Pocahontas for... Kamala destroyed our border. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. Anybody that wants to defund the police, even for one day, we don't want them. They're not worthy of being the president of the United States. If you have that ideology, and she does, she's a Marxist, communist, fascist, anything you want. Remember I said, we will never be a socialist country. Remember I said that in the state? We will not be a socialist country. And I was right. We skipped socialism. We went down to communism. So I was right. I like to be right. I was right for the wrong reasons, right? Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. These are the greatest people. They're tough, they're smart, and they love our country, and they take people out that nobody else wants to touch. I have some friends in the front row, they're very tough. They're not doing it. They said, we'll pass. And she wants to get rid of them. She wants to get rid of ICE. She wants to ban fracking, and as California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as nonviolent crimes. She pledged, think of that, she pledged to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to give up their guns? She wants to confiscate. You feel a little safer when you have all these criminals. Think of it. They allow hundreds of thousands of prisoners to come into our country. Some are murderers, some are drug dealers. They come in and then they say, by the way, we're taking away your guns also, right? They don't go, would anybody like to volunteer to give up your guns? Please raise your hand. Oh, we have a one guy. I have a feeling he won't be doing it when they... Nah, thank you very much. Good. Thank you. Sit down. That's enough. That's enough. He's our friend, but that's enough. And endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. She wants to endorse a ban, a big one. She already did. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. How about that one? And most importantly of all, she lied about working at McDonald's. That's like not a big thing, but can I be honest with you? It's terrible. But there is a video, you know, we talk about woke and they want to take us woke. And we have a video that I think you'll enjoy. It's about when we won 2 world wars, when we were although we did defeat ISIS in about 4 weeks, I will tell you, we have a great military, but I think you'll enjoy this, the way it used to be and the way it is right now.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the number!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face! Sir! You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah!
I hear it and I know, I know you wanna take.
You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
How to abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I.
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress.
I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Let me know just who I am. Let me know just who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Pretty cool, right? We won 2 world wars, remember that. We won plenty of others, and we defeated ISIS so rapidly nobody can believe it. In a matter of weeks, they said it was going to take 5 years. We did it in a matter of weeks. In conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always cherish our great American flag. We will cut your taxes, crush inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and create the greatest job boom the world has ever seen. We're going to do that very easily, very easily. We will hire American, buy American, build American, grow American, and show the whole world that the American dream is back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. I will stop absolutely, darling. And I will stop the global theft of American jobs and turn the U.S. into the manufacturing superpower of the world. I will end the war in Ukraine immediately. I will get it done while I'm president-elect. Stop the chaos in the Middle East and prevent World War III. We are very close to World War III. We are very, very close to World War III because we have incompetent people. Ukraine would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened. Inflation would have never happened. It was caused by their stupid energy policy. None of this stuff would have happened, and we wouldn't have had that horrible situation in Afghanistan, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. 13 dead soldiers, many people dead, many people and soldiers just devastated, loss of legs and arms. All of that wouldn't have happened, and of course we gave them tens of billions of dollars worth of brand new military equipment that I bought and they gave it away to the Taliban. I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And because of that, Putin said, this is a paper tiger. I'm going to go into Ukraine, but he would have never done it if I were president. And even the Democrats admit that, frankly. I will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. You know, I rebuilt our military. We rebuilt our military, but we're going to bring it to a next step. We will build a missile defense shield, all made in the USA. A lot of it made right here. And we will put these stars and stripes on the surface of Mars, and maybe with the help of Elon, we'll get it done quickly. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will, remember this one, we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. It'll be gone. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, your right to free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will do that. Second Amendment. After years and years of building up other countries, we will protect our borders, defend our families, and protect our American suburbs, cities, and towns like never before. We will end sanctuary cities, and we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will put American citizens first. We will put American citizens first, American children first, American patients first, American taxpayers first, American workers first, and American communities first. And we will put communists, Marxists, and fascists last, if that's okay. And they will always be last. They will never make a comeback. They're getting very close. We got to win this election, or they're going to be there. They're going to be there. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be conquered. And we will be a strong, proud, and free nation once again. We will defend our civilization, reclaim our sovereignty, and I will give you back your freedom, your future, and your life. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda once and for all. We want a landslide, and it looks like that could be happening. Too big to risk. Early voting is underway, so get everyone you know and go out and vote. Go tomorrow. It's just starting. Go and vote. Make sure you vote and bring all our friends that want to vote for us. Tell them, Jill, get your fat husband off the couch. Get that fat pig off the couch. Tell him to go and vote for Trump. He's going to save our country. Get that guy the hell off her. Get him up, Jill. Slap him around. Get him up. Get him up, Jill. We want him off the couch to get out and vote. Bring your friends and get him out. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge, and this is true, I really believe this. We're on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. With your help from now until Election Day, we're talking about 19 days. 19. We will redeem America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We have to take it back because we've lost it. We've lost it. Nothing will sway us. Nothing will slow us, and no one will stop us. We will press forward to our magnificent American destiny, and together we will fight, 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 and vote, 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 and we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. And November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, and God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right, there you go. President Trump live in Detroit, Michigan. Obviously, somewhat agitated by the audio issues and the microphone and how hard he has to speak, I guess, to get his the mic to pick him up. He said he's going to have no voice by tomorrow. So not happy with that, but he got through. Crowd was with him the whole time.
Towel dance
is going on, so he's still fired up about that. And
now he's milking the cow.
Look at the crowd shaking the camera. They're excited.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the camera shake. The crowd is jumping up and down there. It must be. So there you go, Delgado. What'd you think? I mean, obviously a night where the president was taken off a little bit off his game with the whole audio problem.
Yeah, but you know what? He made light of it, right? I mean,
he stayed up there on the stage, right?
Right.
I was checking social media after he started up again, and people were like, why aren't they getting him off the stage? I think people are really on edge when he's just out in the open now.
Yeah.
For an extended period of time for seemingly no reason. Like, why not just get him out of there? But
yeah, I think it was like 15 minutes or so. The microphone went down. He had no audio. And, he just kind of stayed up there, was yapping to people in the crowd, walking back and forth. But, it may have taken him off his game, but he kind of used it as well, as any smart entertainer does. Is
this
like
goes
he
out
used
again,
it for
I'm going to sue the S out of him.
Exactly. Well, and he kept mentioning it through. And part of it, too, was it did get under his skin because it annoyed him, you could tell, because he kept bringing it up at different parts of the speech.
Yeah.
But, overall, to be able to sit there and use that as a piece of your presentation, I mean, again, Kamala, could you do that? Probably not.
No, she would have left. She would have had to leave. She would have had no choice but to leave if that happened to her. But you can expect, if not already, I haven't checked, that her campaign is so desperate. The reprobates that are making the social media decisions on her campaign at this point. This morning, the president did Fox and Friends at I think 7:00.
Yeah.
Then he left Fox and Friends and went to Bongino.
Yep, at 9:30, 9:45.
At around 9:45, which if you were watching my morning stream, we watched the entire Bongino interview with President Trump happen as it was happening. So we watched him there. And at the end of the Bongino interview, he said something to Dan. He said, Dan, unfortunately, I really got to go. And Dan said, no problem, and he had him sign a baseball for charity. Well, the reprobates that run her social media company came out a couple hours later and said that President Trump had to abruptly end his interview with Dan Bongino because he was exhausted.
What? Oh, they're going with the exhausted thing.
Yeah. So they're trying to play the party who gave us oatmeal brains for 3.5 years and told us that everything was fine with him is going to try to play the age card now with President Trump.
Meanwhile, he's done, 60, I think, events compared to her 20? Who's exhausted?
It's probably a bigger span than that.
Yeah.
He did more interviews in the first 4 hours of the day today than she's done in 3 weeks.
Yeah, because then he went also, and did he do Kane and Undertaker today, or was that yesterday?
I don't know. He did something with them, too.
Yeah, and they had a nice little plug.
He did Tyrus yesterday.
Yep, he did Tyrus after he did, I guess, was it after the 5, or was that separate?
I think it was after.
Okay.
But so they're trying to play so their closing argument is going to be, he's too old, he's too mean, he tweets too much, his tweets are mean tweets.
Now he's exhausted.
We can't go back to Trump. That's her closing argument. Right. It's not vote for me for any reasons that I'll make your life better. Her closing argument is vote for me because you can't go back to him. That's pretty much what we're left with.
Yeah, it's not really a campaign. She's not out there campaigning for her like, this is why you should vote for me. I'm going to do great with this and this. Just don't vote for him. If that's your pitch, don't vote for him. Well, then, okay, don't vote for him, but then stay home, because obviously there's nothing that she's offering you aside from the fact that she doesn't want you to vote for him, and that's not enough to, that leads you down to the bathroom to flush the toilet.
All right, let's go back out to Detroit, Michigan. Our own Steve Gruber was on the ground, obviously, through all of this. Listened to the president's speech tonight. Obviously has a better handle than almost anybody of what's going on in that state. Steve, welcome on back. I don't know if you heard what we were just talking about, but obviously the president there, a little agitated tonight, I think, with the audio, but made it work, got to the end of the speech. And we're talking about Kamala Harris. I'm sure is going to use this, and somehow, as she has with other things, their closing argument seems to be they're going to play the age card after telling us that oatmeal brains was fine for 3.5 years. Biden. Now they're going to play the age card with Trump. And their basic pitch is that, well, we can't go back to him, so vote for me. Not for any reason that I'm going to make your life better, but just we don't want him.
Exactly. Yeah, they got nothing else to offer. That's a fact. And Donald Trump did make his way through that strange audio problem. I think you guys are about right at about 15 minutes, aggravating to him. He says, I'll fire those guys. I won't pay them. And I wouldn't either, to be honest with you. I don't know if it was Whitmer Electric or whoever's in charge of that. But the takeaway here is more of the same. It is the economy is not what it should be. Not for Michigan, not for manufacturers. He wants to bring manufacturing back to Michigan. That's a fact. He has to. He has to bring it back. He has to bring the jobs back. You know, you have this worker participation in America. It's not what it was before COVID. And, you know, they keep talking about how good the economy is to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but it's just simply not true. Worker participation is lower today than it was before COVID. They can say they brought jobs back, but all those were rebound jobs, jobs that were there in 2020 that are now coming back. This is not a good economy. We have a national debt at $36 trillion, and they need to bring jobs back in the form of factory jobs to Michigan, manufacturing jobs to America. He talked about tariffs. He talked about the fact that Kamala wouldn't do anything different. He played that clip. He's been using those clips a lot lately, using the big screens to play clips of Kamala Harris and other points that he wants to make. I think he did it effectively. The crowd hugged with him during that strange, long, painful problem with the microphone, but he made it through and he delivered for the folks here. And I am going to tell you guys, he'll be back 2 or 3 more times in the next 18 days to Michigan. It's critical. He told me months ago, Donald Trump told me on 2 different occasions months ago, that he believed that Michigan was the key to victory. I think he still believes that. Of course, Pennsylvania's key, but as we were talking about earlier, every single swing state now from Real Clear Politics in Donald Trump's column. Will that hold? I don't know. But he doesn't have to win them all, as you know. If he wins 4 of them, he wins the presidency. If he wins anything beyond that, it's a cakewalk back to the White House. And look, he's actually got policies to talk about. He's got actual plans to talk about, including the Elon Musk, which he went to again here tonight, talking about how Elon Musk can be a critical part of his administration, and so many more great people. That's it from Detroit, guys. I think that he delivered on a tough night for the folks in the technical department. But look, the bottom line is you can vote in Michigan now. I already did, and these folks will as well, and they're going to take Donald Trump back to the White House. At least that's the way it looks from where I'm standing.
All right, there you go. Great stuff, as always. The great Steve Gruber. Of course, you hear him right here on Real America's Voice. Steve, thank you very much. Great stuff out there. All right, there you go. I mean, no one knows it better than Steve does. I was going to, one of the other things you're hearing about is I saw this foreign analyst on CNN tonight talking about Michigan and talking about Dearbornistan. And does anybody have a real handle on how many Arab Americans or that population up there is not going to vote for Harris Biden because of what's going on with Israel? Do we know if and how much that will affect her? How many people are going to stay away from her?
Right.
We always hear about the Adam Kinzinger part of the Republican Party is going to stay away from voting for Trump. If not, they're going to vote for her. But how many in Dearbornistan are going to stay away from voting for Harris because of what's going on?
Yeah,
nobody knows.
We saw an indication of it, right, during the primaries, where they did where they showed up and vote for no one or something like that earlier this year, and it rattled the Democrats because this is a voting segment that they rely on over there, and for them to show up and do that sent a clear message, and I guess it really stems from the position with Israel.
Here's the clip from CNN, and again, you can see by the lower third what they're talking about. I have audio in the background. That's true. Why do I have audio in the background? Yes, I do. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks, Aaron. Here's the clip of her talking about can't find one who's going to vote for.
The business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck. What they are saying, and this is not a Donald Trump campaign line, that Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, who's a Lebanese businessman, has been successful in kind of converting and talking to people to explain why Trump would be better. Even with the Muslim ban, even with everything else that has happened, they feel they do not have any political clout. They don't have any political operation. The only political power they have is their vote, even if it means the rise of Donald Trump. That's extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. It certainly is.
Pizza rolls are done.
So there you go. We're always talking about getting out and who's going to vote, but maybe we should be talking about in some places who's not going to vote.
Yeah, I found this article from North Jersey. Lesser of two evils means nothing to me now, according to Muslim Americans who may not vote at all. That's what they're seeing from some investigative journalism they've been doing for North Jersey out of Bergen. Former East Orange councilman heard from voters upset over bipartisan support for Israel. They plan to sit out this election. Others say they will vote third party as well, meaning Jill Stein or Cornel West is going to be getting their vote. And this is among the voter registration listed as Muslims. So the Muslim League of Voters in New Jersey, a civic empowerment nonprofit, the president of this group, said they're adamant about not voting. Others are saying they're going to vote Jill Stein or Cornel West. That's what they're hearing. So Democrats, trying to play everybody, trying to divide everybody into little groups and say, oh, we're going to take care of your group and we're going to offer you this group and that group and this group. All of a sudden now, all these groups are like, you know what, giving them the old Italian salute, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Speaking of who's not going to vote, I heard this story on the radio from Levin driving in, and I actually went and looked up the article that he referenced because I couldn't believe it. So there is an article in the Arizona Capital Times today, and it's entitled, New Study Says That 32 Million Christians Likely Not to Vote. A new study by a researcher at Arizona Christian University says 32 million Christians who are regular churchgoers are likely to stay home this election. According to a report by George Barna, will likely hurt Donald Trump more than it would hurt Kamala Harris. But Barna, the director of research at the Cultural Research Center at the Glendale School, said it doesn't have to be that way. The key, he said, could be as simple as pastors encouraging people to vote in order to fulfill their biblical responsibility. An estimated 5 million regular churchgoers would be likely to vote as a result of that simple plea from your local pastors. That in itself could change the outcome of the election by simply doing their job and getting their congregants to fulfill one of their chief duties as an American citizen. President of Arizona Christian University called this a blockbuster report. Christians could be the deciding factor in a bunch of federal and state races and are choosing not to be, he said. I mean, that, and then he followed it up, Levin did, after telling me this, by saying that there's 10 million gun owners in a study that they say, from the NRA, that they say may not vote.
Well, there's 10 million that I know of that they said didn't vote last election.
Well, how is that possible?
Exactly. How is that possible?
Bad.
The Second Amendment is right there in their no pun intended, in their scope,
in their crosshairs,
in their crosshairs.
Exactly.
The Supreme Court, the Second Amendment, and we've got 30 million Christians who are going to stay home, 10 million gun owners who are going to stay home.
But from what I've heard, the Trump campaign has been actively searching these gun owners out, trying to get them out to vote. Yeah.
Fire them up.
All right, let's take a break. Big odds makers coming up when we get back to wrap up the week. Right here, live from Studio 6B.
For him. Good for him coming on. Long time. Friend of the show. Are we streaming?
Yes, we're live in the chat.
All right.
Long time friend.
I just want to make sure I'm not talking just myself.
Like I'm probably going to bring both of our guest odds makers live to make sure they can hear each other because we haven't done this before.
Okay, sure.
Let's go.
This is going to be fun. This is the first time.
Casey and Brooke, Farmer Brooke.
Look out. Farmer Brooke coming up.
Okay, well, I don't know why
Holy
I can't
crap.
get this to work. What is going on here?
Oh, no.
Good Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Technical.
Whitmer Electronics got you too?
Yeah, I feel like we're in Detroit
What is
tonight.
going on?
Between your headphones and your computer.
Oh, my.
You've been hanging out with Detroit too much.
Harry, we need you, Harry.
Yeah, get Harry
your fat
on
ass off the couch.
Harry
Get over
touched
here,
my
Harry.
computer. No, he's not here.
He doesn't have to be. You can just blame him.
Big odds makers, come on.
Dude, how funny is it that Elon Musk is running around the country campaigning? You know what it is? I think he got a little taste of that like live crowd. It's like, oh, this is nice. I think he's digging it. He might run for office. Hey, Dame. Now wait. I'll wait. Farmer Brooke in the X chat saying, wait for the call. Coming to get you, Farmer Brooke.
Yeah, we got Farmer Brooke on. I'm trying to get Casey on now.
Okay.
Casey.
I'm getting an error message on her.
Howdy, Twixers.
I can't get anything on this computer to work.
Really?
Thankfully, the stream is actually going out because that's about all that's working right now.
Farmer Brooke is
Holy
on.
Bananas.
Fran just confirmed. Farmer Brooke.
Casey and
is in the
Farmer
queue.
Brooke are on the odds makers here tonight.
Farmer Brooke
not
is in the
working
queue.
either.
Oh, yeah.
Casey's not answering. Okay, Casey, if you're watching, come on now. It's your time.
Yankees and Garden. He's getting tight there. 3-2.
Don't let Farmer Brooke steal all the spotlight now.
Come on, Casey.
Is Farmer Brooke wearing a hat? Should I be wearing my hat? Am I gonna get upstaged here?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
You get top hatted.
What else is new?
Come on.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Yep.
No Casey.
Yep.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Friday night, wrapping up the week. President Trump, obviously in Detroit, Michigan, we covered that. Slick's here. It's going to do, well, he's not going to do any sports, maybe a little bit. So Delgado will maybe get some news in. But right now, Friday night, segment 7, you know what that means. It's time, friend, fire it up for an odds makers. right, here we go. And joining us tonight, live from Studio 6B audience, it's Farmer Brooke. Farmer Brooke, how are you?
Yes. Hello, fellas. Hello. Delgado, don't be jealous.
Oh, man.
I started this when I knew I was going to be on,
so 2
sorry,
days ago,
Joe.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah, don't be jealous.
Yeah, Delgado will catch up in 2070. So,
yeah.
All right, here we go. Farmer Brooks got his picks.
Hang on, wait a minute, fellas. I got a little side bet here with Slick Rick. All right.
Okay.
If I beat you, Slick, I know you won't welch. I know you, Slick.
Yeah.
If I beat you, you got to come on the X chat once a night, because X is where it's at, brother. X chat's where it's at. Once a night, drop in, say hello.
Oh, I will. You got it.
Okay.
All right.
You're on.
We have a side bet.
All
there we
right.
go.
Let's go.
All right, here we
Put
go.
a pitchfork in it.
It's time to pick college and pro games against the spread for the odds makers. 4 games each. Aaron, do you want to give us a rundown of where we are record-wise right now? Do you have that?
Yeah. So right now I am 20-14.
Nice.
Okay, very good.
Slick is 14-20. So we're opposite each other. Audience, I still believe, is 7-13 since we didn't have the audience on last week. So no update from that.
All right. Well, Farmer Brooks gonna get the audience, put him on his back, and let's take this thing to the house. But let's go, Slick. Game number 1. Where are we going?
We're going to go to college, Big D. We got a big game, probably the biggest game of the weekend. It's going to be tomorrow night. Texas taking on Georgia.
Texas -5, the number 1 team in the country. Georgia comes in the 5th ranked at 5-1. Texas 6-0. Texas -5. Your over/under is 57. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Where are you going in this game, Slick?
Wow, that line moved at 1.5 points in the last day. Holy smart, where he gets his odds, boy.
I don't
Who
know.
are you pulling off of Caesars?
Who you got, Slick?
All right, come on, pizza. I'm going to go with, I'm still going to go with the Longhorns, Big D. I'm going to take them. I'm going to lay the 5. Texas is number 1, 6-0. Georgia, they're still in it, but they're the 5th ranked team. So give me Texas. Give me the Longhorns. Quinn Ewers with a big night. And if anything happens, no big deal. We got the Manning boy and Nick come in and take it on. But I'm taking Texas. I'm laying the 5.
All right, -5 for Slick on Texas. Aaron, sounds like you might be going to the same game. What are we doing for your first pick?
I'm going with Slick on this one. I'm going to go Texas here. They're not showing any signs of weakness. They're blowing out all their opponents by at least 19 points every game, and they haven't had a light schedule either, so it's not like they've had it easy. So I think they're going to blow Georgia out of the water, honestly, outright.
Whoa, man, that's a big statement. I don't know about that. Kirby Smart has something to say about that. All right, Farmer Brooke, where are you going for your first game?
All right, I like Texas, but I'm gonna stay in college. I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer tonight. I'm going with my ASU Devils. ASU, speaking of pitchforks, ASU is at Cincinnati. We are on a roll. We've only lost once this year. I have 5.5. I don't know what you have, Big D.
I'm looking for the game right now. I'm looking for the game.
Give me the Devils.
There it is.
Give
I
me
got
the
4.5. 4.5.
4.5 is even better. We'll do that.
Okay, Arizona State at 5-1, -4.5 over Cincinnati. That's a noon game on Saturday. That's Farmer Brooks' first game, Arizona State. All right, game number 2. Slick, where are we going?
I'm going to the big league, Big D. NFL, Sunday, 1 p.m., Highmark Stadium. Buffalo Bills hosting the Tennessee Titans. And, I definitely like Josh Allen to continue that role. Buffalo, big game against the Jets. 9.5. Boy, I had 8.5. Man, your line's moved, but I can't switch it now because the Titans have a quarterback by the name of Will Leave Us Alone. And I got to tell you, they're going to take that game walking away. Buffalo should win. I say double digits there. Buffalo's on a roll. Give me the Bills.
All right, Buffalo -9.5 for Slick over Tennessee. Aaron, where are you going for your second game?
I'm going to go to Minnesota Lions. I'm going to pick the Lions here over Minnesota. I have +1.5 here on that line. Is that still what it is?
It is Minnesota -1 right now at Caesars.
All right, so I'm going to go with Lions +1 there. So Minnesota's been hot, but I think their undefeated streak is going to end on Sunday. Sam Darnold only connected 45% of his passes in his game against the Jets 2 weeks ago, and I feel like Detroit has really been clicking. They won the past 3, and I think they're just going to keep rolling.
All right, Detroit +1 for Aaron's second game. I like that pick. That looks like the hard side to get on. Most people I would think would be on the other side. I like that Detroit pick. Farmer Brooke, where are you going for game number 2?
Yep, I like that, Aaron. I like that a lot. Yeah. Let's stay right there in Minnesota. Rick's home away from home. That's right. Let's go with Detroit. That's my big NFL game this week. I like them too. Good job, Aaron.
All right, yeah, I like that pick by both of you. That looks like the harder team to ride in that game. So I think the most of the public will be on the other side, which is where you want to be, opposite the public. So all right, very good. Game number 3, Slick, coming back to you. Where are we going?
I'm going to drive the Mercedes-Benz down to Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Big D. Falcons and Seahawks. Seahawks are reeling a little bit. Falcons are rolling a little bit. 4th straight. Give me my cousin, good old Kirk. I'm going to take the Falcons. I'm laying. It looks like 3. Yes. So Falcons, 1 p.m., laying the 3.
All right, Atlanta -3 over Seattle. 1 o'clock is game number 3 for the Slickster. Aaron, where are you going for game number 3?
I am going to San Francisco for game number 3, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs here over the 49ers. I feel like a lot of people are going to go the other way, but you have to remember the Chiefs, they have won the last 6 when they were the underdog, and they won all 6 outright, the past 6 games that they were the underdog. So I think they're going to continue and make that 7, and I feel like the 49ers have really just underperformed most of the season, and their defense is not really that dominant. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs here.
Okay, 5-0. It's hard to go against a 5-0 team on the road. I can't see how San Francisco's favored in this game, quite frankly, for that reason. So I would be on the opposite side. I would be on San Francisco because I think most of the public probably rides Kansas City, saying, man, that looks too easy. But we'll see. Farmer Brooke, where are you going for game number 3?
I wrestled with that one too. I'm going to stay away from that. Let's go to the city of lost wages.
All right, Las
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Raiders
at
and
LA.
the Rams.
Yeah, Rams -7. What do you got here?
The Rams are at home.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams. The Raiders cannot find their way out of a paper bag right now. Team in big disarray. I think the Rams are going to lay the wood right on the Raiders.
All right, very good. Rams -7 over Las Vegas. Both teams struggling. 4:05 on Sunday. We'll see who comes out of there, but Farmer Brooks going to take the Rams minus the touchdown. Your total in that game is 43.5. All right, very good. Let's go. Last game, game number 4. Slick, where are we going?
Well, I think I'm going to take the New York Jets, and they're taking on Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Jets with Devontae Adams coming to the team. I think he's going to have a big game. I think him and good old Rodgers are going to hook it up. Jets are due. I think they're upset. I think the coach is going to be focused. They had a rough loss on Monday night to the Bills. They're Eastern Division rivals. I really do like the Jets in this one. They're laying 2 on the road.
They're actually laying 1 right now.
Oh, I like it even better.
On the road. Jets -1. And I'm with you, Slick. If I had to play this game, I'd play the Jets. How are they the favorite in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh 4-2 on the year. Boy, I think most people look at that and think, man, Pittsburgh is easy money. Jets are in disarray. Even with Adams coming in, how is him and Rodgers are they gonna jive right away? That looks like a tough pick, Jets. But they're favored for a reason, I think. So I like that pick. Aaron, where are you going for game number 4?
I am going with that game also. Slick convinced me. I'm going to pick the Jets. I was going to stay away from it because I feel like every time I pick them, they lose.
Oh, great.
Sorry. But, I mean, Devontae Adams, like you said, is going to be joining them. It's going to be like Green Bay of the East with him, Rodgers, Allen Lazard. And do I think Devontae Adams is going to be up to speed with the Jets this week? Maybe not, but I think that he's definitely going to cause a distraction on the field, and Garrett Wilson's going to get more touches because of that. So I think it's going to end up, playing in their favor. And the Steelers, I don't know, something about that line just doesn't seem right to me. Yeah. Maybe Russell Wilson's going to be the one at quarterback this week, and that just doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yep.
All right, very good. So another with the Jets. Farmer Brooke, before I come to you with your last pick, I want you to know all your friends in the chat, the Live from Studio 6B family, are all extremely proud of the job you're doing tonight. They say you're making them proud in the chat. What's your 4th and final game?
All right, I said I was going to be a little bit of a homer. Woo! Let's go to Lambeau.
I thought it was a dome game.
Lambeau.
I love it.
Let's go. Let's go, Pat. Racing Banshee is my Packer fan on the X chat, so I gotta go with Green Bay. I know it's going to be a tough game. C.J. Stroud is a stud, but I tell you what, we're starting to hit on all cylinders. Jordan Love is making us proud, and Aaron we're glad he's a Jet. No, I miss Aaron. He's He's fantastic, but I think we're going to roll. We're ready.
Yeah, you missed Devontae too. Don't forget him.
yes, Devontae. But our receiving core it's like almost like Devontae who.
Yeah,
I mean, we're kicking butt, taking names.
Yep, Green Bay -3 at home at 4-2. Houston comes in 5-1. That could be the game of the week. I mean, let's face it.
Yes,
that could absolutely be the game of the week. Sure. Two young stud quarterbacks playing well. Green Bay -3, so you got your standard 3 home team line here in the NFL, which tells you all you need to know. Odds makers think this game is probably close. Given really the only advantage they're giving Green Bay is the home field advantage, which is a good one, obviously, at Lambeau.
Sure.
So,
it was back to the frozen tundra. But it's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. All right, there you go. There's your odds makers. 4 games for each. Farmer, Brooke, Aaron, and Slick right here in a week 7 already in the NFL.
Look at this.
Look at that background, Farmer Brooke. Man, I came prepared.
Fran, that's a good pull.
Great job. So, obviously, we always see you in the chat, and we thank you for all the support and all the love and all the being involved. And
one of the best followers.
What's the best thing about the Live from Studio 6B chat and all of our friends in there?
I'll tell you, we all love you guys. Every one of you, even Aaron and Fran. I mean, probably more so than you 3. But I'll tell you, hey, and we have the best chat. Sorry, YouTube, Getter, all the others. I actually moved over from Getter, and it's just we have a great group. And the chat, well, I probably shouldn't say this. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but the chat doesn't fly by, so we pretty much have it under control, and it's a great. First of all, you guys, I've been following you for a long time, as you know. First time caller, and I'm just happy to be here. Love you guys. I'm available to fill in anytime, just so you know, and I can do reads too. So
right. All right. Well, you have 4.
I like the way you use your head too.
You got 4 coming up right here. So
awesome. Thank you guys. We love you.
Farmer Brooke.
Yeah, nice job. Very good. There you go.
Go Devils.
Farmer Brooke for a week 7 of the odds makers. There you go. I mean,
he killed it.
Who came up with this idea to have the audience involved with the odds makers? Oh, that would be me.
Oh.
You should give yourself a round of applause.
Good job.
It's worked out great, right?
It's been phenomenal, actually.
Oh, man.
Give yourself a Tim Walsh round of applause.
When he needs a night off, we should just have somebody.
I will wrap it up for a Friday night live from Studio 6B right after this.
Wow, Fran, I thought you did that. I mean,
that was.
You
all
produced
him.
that segment, Fran, without us
Fran,
knowing.
you produced that segment.
Yeah, the background. I mean,
he
man.
surprised us with that when we tested, and I let it go.
He had props.
I let it go.
He had a costume change like Slick Rick.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
He went from cowboy
Slick, by
to
the way,
cheesehead.
I did not miss your. I thought it was a dome game. That didn't go over my head.
I didn't go over your head.
When he took the cowboy hat off.
He said he was going to pull out all the stops, and he did.
He did.
I thought we were going to a dome game with that one.
I mean, they just keep raising the bar. The audience keeps raising the bar. I feel bad. I mean,
I know. Oof. What happened to Casey? You shouldn't make it on.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kept saying error.
Oh man,
I got error, and then I got a no answer, and
And then
sorry,
not on mine.
Casey.
And it was,
well, we'll try to get her in. We're not going to leave her hanging. We'll get her in one of
yeah,
these
no, there's
weeks.
definitely a week.
We got
still
plenty
that
of
we
weeks
can-
still left.
right.
So
I think she was using Whitmer Electronics for her hookup.
That could have been.
how about the fact that Gruber said that on the way out? Whitmer Electronics again. That's pretty funny.
Maybe former Brooks sabotaged her. He said, "You know what? This is my time."
Oh, right.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
Room for me and my beard. That was a big beard. He only started that on Monday. I am so jealous.
Yeah, you'll get there in like 50 years.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Man, oh man. Farmer's the man. Everybody's just loving the Farmer Brook in the chat. Of course.
Yep. Hello, Janice on Facebook. Bucky's fan says, Farmer Brook, you have 26 reads next.
Right.
David Nome with cowboy hat and a cheesehead hat. Oh, what about that?
I don't know. Do we? Do I really have reads? Oh, God. Really? Well, come on. They know we're covering the Trump rally. What do we got reads for?
Yeah, Patriot Mobile, Birch Gold, and AMAC.
Oh, man. That's the rest of the show. That's the last half hour. It's the last slot.
Really?
The last peg.
Where are they?
2 days ago. They're emailed.
What happened here?
Patriot Mobile.
What are the Mets doing? Oh, Mets won. You know that. What about the Yankees?
What is it? Patriot Mobile,
Birch Gold, AMAC.
Oh, the Yankees are holding on.
10 seconds.
3-2.
I'll sound like the blues on a Friday night. Let me talk to you about our friends at AMAC. As we move toward the upcoming election, there's a lot on the line for all Americans. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed, stay involved, join a community that stands for your values. And of course, that's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. They're the leading conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. Members receive a subscription to the AMAC magazine, exclusive discounts on a wide range of benefits, free resources, trusted news, and so much more. President Trump said it best when he said, I think AMAC is great. AMAC stands strong on the issues that matter to you, securing our borders, protecting Medicare, preserving the integrity of our elections. AMAC also fights to protect your freedom and sees your voice is heard in Washington. Join AMAC today. Be part of the movement that champions your values. Visit amac.us/Studio6B, amac.us/Studio6B to become a member and make a difference. That's amac.us/Studio6B. This election season, make sure you stand with AMAC. Together, we'll protect America's future. amac.us/Studio6B. Well, you know, Americans are tired and frustrated by a stalling economy, inflation, endless wars, and the relentless assault on the values that made America great. Thankfully, there's companies like Patriot Mobile that still believe in America and believe in the Constitution. Patriot Mobile is a proud supporter of RAV, and they were proud to partner with them. They're on the front lines fighting for the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, supporting our military and first responder heroes. Support conservative causes, put America first with every call that you make, all while getting the same nationwide coverage as the major providers. Patriot Mobile has all three networks, and it's why they can back their service with a coverage guarantee. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team will help you find the best plan for your needs. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Just go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month when you use the offer code RAV today. Don't be fooled by other providers pretending to share your values. Join us in supporting the only one that actually lives by them. That, of course, is Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT for a free month of service. And you can do that today. Well, you know, there's a lot at stake in the upcoming election, but regardless of who's sitting in the White House, the fuse on the economy has already been lit. Even 4 years of a conservative presidency will not be enough to turn the tide on $35 trillion in national debt, and if the left wins, it'll be like throwing gas on a dumpster fire. You don't have too much control over the election's outcome, but what you can control and do right now is protect your savings by diversifying into gold with the help of our friends from the Birch Gold Group. For millennia, gold has withstood firm in the face of greedy governments, economic upheavals, and global strife. And you can protect yourself with gold, and that can protect you right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold, tax-free, penalty-free. Won't cost you a penny out of pocket to do it. In the past 4 years, the buying power of the U.S. dollar has declined. The price of gold has increased by 40%. Coincidence? I don't think so. Text the word America, send it to 98998, get your free information kit on gold. You can trust Birch Gold to protect your savings. Text America to the number 989898. Do it today. All right, 10 minutes till the hour, live from Studio 6B, wrapping it up on a Friday night. Want to thank Farmer Brooke again and everybody involved with the odds makers. Great stuff. Slick, good job. Anything else in sports, which, of course, is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. And it'll be a big promo coming up for November and December. If you use our code LFS6B, you're going to get something special from us. Plus, you get a free T-shirt, any T-shirt you want. There's 4 new T-shirts dropped at Live from Studio 6B today and yesterday. And all 4 of them, man, might be the best-looking 4 shirts we've ever come out with. They look so good. I showed you the Western Wanted shirt. I love it. I already got mine on.
That's your hat right on there?
Yeah, it's my hat on there, so that's coming. So, what else is going on in sports?
All right, well, one more quick sweep of the scoreboard, Big D. Well, progressive field where things could get progressively worse for the Guardians if they lose tonight to the Yankees. They're trailing 3-2 in the top of the 6th inning. That'd be Game 4 of the series. Yankees up 2-1, looking to go up 3-1 tonight if they win and then close it out. Dodgers fell to the Mets today. Mets did not want to lose at home at Citi Field. Big win, 12-6. That series is now 3-2. Game 6 would be Sunday night, and we'll see if the Mets can make it, push it to a Game 7. NCAA football right now, Duke beating Florida State. How they've dropped, right? 20-16, 11 to go there in the 4th. Number 2, Oregon in action tonight. Friday Night Football under the lights. Well, they're beating Purdue 21-0 at the half. And we got the WNBA for those who actually care, those 10 or 15 people, at the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis, right across the street from one of my favorite clubs, First Avenue. Well, right now, the Liberty and Lynx are tied at 72, 4:48 to go in the 4th. And Big D, I don't think anybody cares. And on that note, I'm going to turn it back to you. That's a wrap in sports.
Tens of people care. Tens of people care. So, all right, very good, Slick. Delgado, any other news headlines?
Oh, there's a couple things if we got time for it, I'd love to throw in. We were talking about some of the things that President Trump has been doing. This is cut number 8. He cut a little something with Kane and The Undertaker. If you want to check that out, here it is. Doing a little promo for President Trump. Here's cut number 8. Check this out.
All right, everyone, November 5th, Election Mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz. Choose wisely. The nation depends on it.
And that should be an easy choice.
Trump's going to get his jab in there.
That's a triple threat match that's pretty one-sided, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. Also from the campaign trail, I don't know if you saw this, but on CNN, one of the panelists, Ryan Godersky, was asked, about the policies of Trump compared to Biden-Harris. I guess the people on the CNN panel couldn't take it as he started rattling them off, and he gets cut off by this woman. This is cut number 4. Check this out for yourself right here. Cut number 4.
So many of the conservatives feel this way secretly about Donald Trump. Why not just take the hit for 4 years, let him lose, and then get your party back? Why do we keep defending this person that everyone clearly doesn't respect?
And most Republicans don't think they could survive 4 more years of Kamala Harris as a country.
In what way?
Open borders, 6 million people coming across the border. We did have high inflation, horrible foreign policy, wars across the globe that didn't happen while Trump was president. There was the reshoring of manufacturing. Didn't happen.
I'm not going to let you do it.
I mean, I could sit there and do the whole.
I can do the whole thing too, but we're not going to do that.
Or is it that, or is it just about raw political power? Because I mean, Mitch McConnell is basically.
I'm sorry, but that woman is straight out of Central Casting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She couldn't take it.
Who is that?
He started naming all the things, and she's like, "That's it. I can't let you do this."
It's straight out of Central Casting, man. Holy Moses.
Just amazing. And, of course, we were talking about the Democrats who are decidedly starting to make sure they are aligning themselves with Trump on certain policies, one of which out of Pennsylvania is Bob Casey. I don't know if you've seen the clip from the ad. Here's cut number 5. Here's Bob Casey thinking that, I don't know, maybe he's doing this in his campaign ad because he thinks Donald Trump is probably going to win. Check this out.
Casey bucked Biden to protect fracking, and he sided with Trump to end NAFTA and put tariffs on China to stop them from cheating.
Yeah, right there.
Wait a minute. You mean Bob Casey and Tammy Baldwin are associating themselves with a threat to democracy?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
It turns out, Damon, he's vulnerable. This Democrat Senator Bob Casey, and his spot released this morning with a married couple with different political viewpoints. Each praised Casey as an independent, highlighting his support for Trump's trade policies and efforts to protect fracking from the evil Biden administration. You can't make this stuff up. It's amazing, politicians, what they'll do. As soon they'll do, where's the win? Oh, I could lose. I'll go with that guy.
Yep, bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. That's all I got on Friday night.
As always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel, everybody that keeps the country safe, all our farmers, all our truckers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Fran, great job as always. Thanks to Steve Gruber and the whole RAV team out for President Trump's rally in Detroit, Michigan. Thanks to Farmer Brooke. Odds makers, we'll track all the games all weekend. We'll be back with a full report on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Have a good one, and we will see you Monday night for another packed week of events right here live from Studio 6B. We'll see you then.